Everyone, Fumencho here, back again for another video. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a little while since I've made a video. I know. The holidays really kept me busy, took a lot of my time. I've also been sick lately, kind of getting over a cold. My throat is still kind of a little messed up. I've been having to clear it out a lot lately, like, you know, that whole thing. So you have to forgive me if I do that during the video. I'm sorry. I'm getting over a throat thing. So, yeah. There's also been kind of a lack of information to talk about. There hasn't been anything really cool or big to talk about. A lot of bad news, unfortunately, has happened throughout the first couple weeks of 2016. But I'm here to talk about the good things that are going to happen in 2016, and that is the Nintendo NX. At least maybe not being released in 2016, but probably going to be announced. I'm guessing that this thing is going to come out, is going to be announced in 2016, sorry. So yeah, this video I'm basically going to try to predict what this thing is going to be, what the NX is going to be. I did this with the Super Smash Bros. Broadcast. I got a lot of views for that. A lot of people commented, a lot of people liked it. And it's just fun. It's fun talking about it, it's fun speculating, and I can't wait to see how wrong I am come E3 or Nintendo Direct or whenever they announce this thing. I love being wrong. I love setting my expectations in a different direction and then they go that way and I'm like, well, okay, this is interesting, because we all know how that Smash Brothers special broadcast turned out. Anyway, let's just begin. So, I think back in last summer, after E3, I believe, I think it was September or August, they basically kind of announced this idea of a new console, a new home console, codename Nintendo NX. It was at this, I believe, a shareholders meeting talking about their partnership with DNA. I think that's how you pronounce the company's name. DNA, the mobile game company, and they're going to be, at least I'm not even sure. I didn't really read too much about that. I just only read the report where the late Iwata mentioned that they're going to be working on a new home console. And basically, I believe someone asked him that, does this mean that they're going to be straying away from home console games, AAA titles? And Satoru Iwata said, no, it does not. We are working on a new home console, and we will talk more about it perhaps in 2016. I think my first prediction is I think we are going to see this console this year. I don't think it's going to be released this year just yet. I'm not sure if it's going to be released this year, but I think we're definitely going to see the console's build, the controller, and a few games. I think we're going to see that this year. It probably, I don't know. That's the toughest thing to predict, but I think we're definitely going to see it come E3 or, you know, a Nintendo Direct a little after or a little before. My second prediction. So the main thing that everyone's been talking about and speculating about this console is this thing a mobile device slash home console slash handheld weird hybrid thing? I don't believe it is. I think this thing is strictly a home console. I don't think it has any kind of mobile capabilities. I know that kind of goes against what everyone else has been saying. I don't necessarily want it to be a mobile device because I think the 3DS is already popular enough where they don't need anything else in that territory. I think they're fine with what they got. The 3DS sells well. There's still developers making games for it, happily making games for it, and they sell very well. Also, another point is that they kind of announced the idea of this console at that shareholders meeting where they were, showing off their partnership with DNA. So it kind of contradicts a little bit if Iwata were to say that, yes, we're working on another home console, and it's also going to have a cell phone attached to it. I think that sounds a little bit weird. I think that would kind of contradict what the question was asked, and just, I don't know. Maybe I'm overlooking it. Perhaps it would be. I don't know, but this is my second prediction. I think it is going to be strictly a home console. My third prediction is I think that this console is going to have an optical disc drive. There's been a lot of patents and rumors and all kinds of stuff going on about Nintendo perhaps having everything in the cloud, everything being bought online through like a new interface and everything. And I think that is fine and dandy. I think it's cool. It's a good idea. And I think it will happen eventually. But I don't think now is the time to be getting rid of physical media. I don't think it is yet. I think that they're going to have an optical disc drive because having downloadable games only really alienates the player to me. It takes the player away. If this gamer does not have a good internet, good internet access or doesn't even have internet at all, then they can't play games on the console. That really alienates Nintendo's consumers. And Nintendo has always been about bringing all of the gamers together, old and young, people without internet, people with internet, together. That's what Nintendo is all about, and I don't think that they would just, completely 180 and say, no, only people with great internet access can purchase games online. I have great internet access, fortunately, but, unfortunately, not everyone does. So I think it's going to have an optical disk drive. And it still will have a store where you can buy games online. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, they're still going to do that. But I don't think it's going to be only online. Plus, I want to have my game boxes. I like having, the box art and my collect. I like that. That's cool. I hope they continue doing that. So yeah, that was my third prediction. My fourth prediction is the controller. So, like I mentioned before, there's all these patents. There's weird pictures of this controller. I'll probably put in a link or maybe put in these corners here of this controller that's basically all screen and it has like touch screen buttons, like the buttons are in the screen. I really, really dislike that. I do not believe that you get the same kind of feedback that you would get from a real button from touching a screen. It just doesn't work for me at all. But what is my prediction on this controller? I think it is going to be similar to the gamepad and similar to the Wii U Pro controller, if that makes sense. I think it's going to be kind of a combination of the two. I think it'll feel really nice in your hands. It'll be, a good solid controller, and I think it'll have a small screen in the middle, maybe around the size of the 3DS screen. And I think it'll still have touch capabilities and everything. And I believe that a lot of Wii U titles, I think it'll have backwards compatibility with the Wii U titles. If that's not a fifth prediction, whatever. So yeah, I think it's going to be a combination between the gamepad and the Pro controller. It's also going to have 6-axis motion thing. You can shake it and stuff and do crazy things with it. And it will have the gyroscopes and everything like that. It'll have pretty much all of the capabilities of the gamepad, but it will be in a regular controller form. And you better be damn sure that it's going to have an NFC reader for Amiibo. Amiibo, they're not going anywhere, trust me. I guess that would be my sixth prediction. Amiibo are here to stay. I wouldn't be surprised if the console, the damn thing, came with Amiibo. I don't know. So yeah, my next prediction, my last prediction, call this my seventh prediction. What kind of power is this console going to have? So people are saying that this thing is going to be as powerful as the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Forgive me, I don't know too much about the technical parts of consoles. I don't understand too much of it. But I believe I'm predicting that this console is going to be as powerful as the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I think Nintendo desperately needs third-party support, and the only way to do that now in this generation is to have a good console that can handle their game. And Nintendo, I don't necessarily play these games, like Call of Duty, Madden, but those games sell very, very well. They really do, and Nintendo needs that extra boost in console sales. So when you don't have a AAA title coming out, like a Mario or Legend of Zelda, you can have, third-party games like Madden and Call of Duty to fill in the gaps. And that's why this year for Nintendo, last year for Nintendo, has been sort of an uphill battle because they have so many great games. Between Xenoblade, Chronicles X, Super Mario Maker, even Woolly World or Yoshi's Epic Yarn, I can't even remember what it was called. All these, great Nintendo titles, but they're also spread apart, and there's nothing to fill in the gaps, and there's nothing to play in between these games. And I think they desperately need a powerful console that can play the next Assassin's Creed game or the next, Arkham game or, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it will be as powerful as the PlayStation 4. I'm going to make another prediction, because I think this one is actually the one I wanted to talk about the most, and that is what are the games coming out for this console come release date or launch window. I think there's been a lot of speculation that the Legend of Zelda 2016 game, that's going to be a cross-platform game between the Wii U and the NX. I don't know. This is the hardest thing to predict for me out of everything, because there's a lot of different variables behind this. with, you know, Twilight Princess being on the GameCube and the Wii, and I don't know, the Wii U never got its full, you know, Zelda experience. I mean, you know, Wind Waker HD was great, but it's not a full brand new Legend of Zelda game. But Skyward Sword was on, you know, the original Wii, yeah. And, you know, Wind Waker, the original Wind Waker was original on the GameCube. So I think that it would make sense to have a, you know, an original big open world awesome Zelda game exclusively for the Wii U. But then again, I think it would really help out with the console sales, with their sales and how the console moves forward. I think they need a AAA title like that to help this console, you know, get, you know, to the market. But then again, it kind of takes away a little bit from, you know, the people that own Wii U's. If they announce tomorrow that Legend of Zelda 2016, or whatever the hell this game's going to be titled, is going to be exclusively for the NX, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm really not. I will not cry about it. I will buy the console and play the game. That's it for me. But there's some people that aren't like that, and Nintendo really needs to pay attention and really try hard to appease to both audiences, both people that have, you know, siding opinions. But other games. Now, I really want, you know, F-Zero. I really want, you know, a full 3D, HD, beautiful, you know, Mario game, you know, like Mario Galaxy, maybe even Mario Galaxy 3, although I would like to see them take a new direction. Games are kind of hard to predict. I really just wanted to talk about that Legend of Zelda game, but you better believe that they're going to end up making a new Mario game, please make an F-Zero game. Even Sakurai, Masahiro Sakurai, the creator of Smash Brothers, said that he's working on his new game now. And we have to believe that that's either for the NX or the 3DS. I'm guessing the NX. Maybe he's making a Kid Icarus game for the NX. That would look really, really beautiful on there. Or, I don't know. Who knows? I'm just rambling on now. So yeah, thank you guys so very much for watching. Comment below. Give me your predictions on what the NX is going to be. I would love to read them. Also, tell me what you guys think about my predictions. Am I dead wrong, or am I going to be 100% right? It's going to be really fun when this thing gets announced. So yeah, comment below, let me know. Thanks for watching this video. Like it if you enjoyed it. Subscribing, of course, always helps me out. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.